Hello and welcome everybody on this webcast today. I hope you're all having a fantastic Saturday. So it's great to have all of you here on tonight's call. And I hope that you all are well and safe and in good health. So with that, we're going to start the presentation in a few seconds from here. We have our founder and CEO of Utopian Global on board, or coming on board as well in a little bit. My name is Claudia Eifert, and I very much appreciate that you make time, and especially in this very interesting time, I would say, come on board and listen to what we have here to offer. What is our, of course, approach and what we have for you in storage. So Utopian Global, as you see, real assets, real income, and real lifestyle. Now, right now, we are, as I said, living in a changing time. I think you could maybe probably compare it like, I mean, I guess everybody, if I would ask, where were you on September 11, I think everybody would know what they did and where they were, right? And I think this will be a time where, you know, we will very much remember where were we when we had a curfew. Because really, in history, I mean, I think nobody on people's call here, who would offer people on the call, I think nobody, even in their surroundings or even maybe from parents, they know still people who have ever experienced that. Even though I had the other day, I was talking to my mother and her a friend, her grandparents both died in the Spanish flu. So so I had one person I met there, but I mean, we're living in a very, very interesting time here, and certainly this will be going down in history, most likely. So interesting. But with that, of course, as we do know, and of course, we already hear in the news, we already hear from a lot of media outlets. It's no question, as longer as we are not productive as countries. Myself speaking in Germany, we have people here from United States on the call, from Canada, from down under on the call. We have people here from all kinds of parts of Europe. As longer, of course, the economy stands still, as more problematic it will be. And we all hear the news, well, the governments are printing more money and they're going to rescue and they're going to give you a handout. Well, haven't seen that handout so far. And then again, what and how long and what will be the consequences basically of that handout? Because of course, what it's going to do is going to destroy more and more the value of the already destroyed paper currency. That means if you think you're going to retire with 65 or with 67, or like here in Germany with 70 for men and 67 for women currently, I don't think that will be possible, because again, how if of course that money you're working for is actually losing more and more of its purchasing power. So we're really living in a stark financial and environmental reality. We have a global challenge, and that is of course an imbalanced global financial system. I mean, even now, I mean, you see it. I just read an article the other day. The big Goldman Sachs guy there. Well, he got like so much payment, a big bonus check. Well, what about the others? So we have a huge imbalanced global financial system. We heard, of course, Amazon is of course making a killing. So they're making a lot of money, but of course its workers get minimum wage. Very, very unjust system, and it can only go so far until there will be riots on the street. But of course, that's why we have curfew as well. So there are no riots on the streets, right? It's an interesting scenario, and I have my own opinion on that. So we have a rising government debt. We have certainly a global plastic crisis. I mean, we have more and more plastic which is produced because the population is growing, meaning we consume more. Everything is packaged, and of course it goes into the landfills, it goes into the ocean. We don't really have a solution. Well, we do have, but there is no really plastic recycling happening. So far only 8%, something like that, worldwide. We have a high global resource consumption. So in order to have those beautiful Tesla cars, in order to have always the latest cell phone, iPhone, whatsoever, or the latest computer, well, we need minerals, we need rare minerals, we need resources. So in order to build all those roads, in order to build all those industry, what do we need? We need resources, right? So we have a high global resource consumption. All days are problems in our really changing world, but of course, as to any problem, there's also a solution. And Utopian Global, what really provides you is real assets, real income, real lifestyle through the different products and services. So one of those product and services is basically Store. Store is actually a platform which crowdfunds money and then invests it into the different energy sectors, from oil and gas, which is a resource, from mineral mining and plastic recycling, putting that plastic back into biodiesel. Plastic, of course, comes from what? Petroleum. So basically building a circular economy, put it back into biodiesel. That is Store platform. We, Utopian Global, market Store, that we crowdfund money. When money is crowdfunded and when money is employed, meaning when money is working then in the different assets, then of course the store owners, they are making money. That is basically a no-brainer. Wealth, well, since, gosh, 12 years, more than 12 years, the company Utopian Global, we have been talking gold, we have been talking silver, we have been talking about to build a nest egg in gold and silver, very much so. Why have we done this? Well, because gold or silver is money, everything else is debt. Paper currency you work for, you trade your time for, is not money. It loses over time purchasing power. In fact, every currency over time has lost its purchasing power. Myself, in my short existence in this beautiful planet Earth, I already have gone through 3 different currencies. The East German mark doesn't exist anymore. The German mark doesn't exist anymore. And of course, now the euro. Let's see how long this will exist. Sorry, just going back here. Education, well, when you plug into, of course, our system, we have an amazing webinars and platform and different teachers and different coaches, which, of course, talk about wealth, how to generate wealth, how to generate generational wealth, because this is what we want to show you, want to teach you how to build generational wealth. Because what's the problem? Well, the problem is that a lot of the people who make very fast money, they don't have no idea how to keep the money, how to maintain the money, how to multiply the money, how to basically have it for generations. Most people don't know that. They have not been educated. They don't understand that. That's certainly what we do here as well. And again, through the platform, the marketing is that basically we of course bring those customers, those affiliates, those marketers on board, and everybody who's marketing actually gets paid and cash, meaning euros, which you can then withdraw either to your wallet, I mean, to your bank, or via Bitcoin to your Bitcoin wallet, or you can buy gold or silver, you can buy more Store. So we market the products and services. Well, why do we market the products and services? Why don't we employ just one company? Because there's nothing more powerful than word of mouth marketing. Now, when you watch television, probably you don't do it anymore because you see so many advertisements. And you just skip them because you're bored. You don't want to see the advertisement. That's why Netflix is working so well, because you pay for it, but you don't see advertisement, because we don't like to be sold. Yet we listen to a friend when a friend tells us about this great restaurant they just went to, this great movie they just watched. So we more likely listen to a friend when they tell us something. And this is why word of mouth marketing is actually the best and the most powerful marketing. That's what we do. So when we come and talk about and educate people about wealth, about cash flow, about income, about residual income, about making money online, about creating income streams, we all understand, of course, there's different ways to make money. Most people, 95%, they are employees. Then we have, of course, also a big part which are self-employed people. It could be a doctor, this could be a lawyer, but these people, even though they have great professions and do very, very hard work. I mean, look at all the firemen and nurses and all those people right now, policemen, doing fantastic job. But yet they are trading their time for a currency. Not for money, because you don't trade your time for money. You trade your time for a currency which is losing purchasing power over time. So 95% of the people are in this, yet only 5% for the wealth of all the wealth globally is generated there. Business owners and investors, they have leverage. They have people working with them. They have people working with you and for you, and that creates more money. They have money working for you. And this is, of course, where 95% of all the wealth is created, yet only 5% are in this space. And so what we here with Utopian Global and through Utopian Global have, we actually help you to shift from the employee without having you to necessarily give up your job. You don't have to give up your job. You can, if you, of course, wish to, and you're making the money, but you don't have to. But we're helping you to shift from an employee or from a self-employed to a business owner and to investors. Because obviously, when you become involved with Utopian Global, let's say you become an affiliate, you are automatically a business owner. Now, if you live in some parts of the world, especially in the United States, you have an amazing tax write-off, like crazy tax write-off. Everybody should be a business owner actually there, because again, for the tax write-off. And then of course, we help you to become an investor, because when you own store, or when you of course have gold and silver to your own, that means, of course, you're also in this quadrant. So let's move very quickly through our platform and what we can offer you here. Precious metals, I talked about it. Precious metal is money. Currency is not. And precious metals, since Roman times, I mean, since we can back of time, we can think of precious metals always has maintained its purchasing power. So in Roman times, 1 ounce of gold would actually dress you beautifully. So would an ounce of gold in the 1920s, and so does it today. Today, if you're going to sell an ounce of gold, it's probably around $1,600. You know, with $1,600, you can still, if the shops were open, buy yourself a nice suit, shirt and tie and shoes. Now in 1920, the gold was fixed to a $20 an ounce. And so fast forward, had you hold on to that dollars, well, today with $20, what can this buy to you? Today, 20 Norwegian krona, 20 euro, 20 Great British pound, 20 Aussie dollars, 20 rand, what would that buy you? Well, certainly not a nice tie, suit, and so on. And so we have been teaching and educating people that, you know, you have to find a way how to basically have a savings plan, how to have an asset accumulation plan, how to have something in place where from as little as 25 euros, you can put something aside for bad times, for not so good times, for your safety cushions, your safety polster, your insurance policy, because this is what it is, it's an insurance policy. Well, I don't have to tell you, you know what's going on right now. Lots of people losing their jobs. Lots of people are losing their businesses. They have no idea how to get back. We don't know when this is going to go over, Corona. We don't know it's going to be in a month, it's going to be in 2 months, it's going to be in 3 months. Nobody has a clue. So we don't know. This is something new. We have never experienced that. It's something unprecedented. We don't know. And on the other hand side, the most of the precious metals refineries, they closed. That means they cannot produce any more physical gold, like the refinery we work with, which is the which does the main refining and worldwide, 25% or even 30%. I heard the latest stats of the gold refining. They're closed because of Corona. They're on the Italian border. We still have gold or silver available, but we cannot ship it anymore physically to you. Why? Well, of course, even though the gold we still have in storage, which could go out for shipping, but then FedEx, of course, they need to physically give it to you, need to physically sign. It's not a 2-meter distance. So that's not a good thing either. So this is a big deal, meaning there's a lot of people now wanting to buy gold. They didn't listen before, but now they can't get hold of it. That, of course, eventually will increase the price, of course, of gold. So we have an amazing platform here. From as little as 25 euro, you can still right now diversify in gold or silver. And if you need to sell it, well, you push a button and you sell it back to the price that given day when it is sold. Very simple, very transparent. And the great thing is you have your gold diversified in Switzerland or in Dubai. So outside your domicile, because hey, you never know what's going to go. You never know what's going to happen. We don't know. We don't know if we will have a civil unrest. Who do we know when we don't have any more food, when our food chain is interrupted? When, I mean, we really don't know what's going to happen, but it's not looking nice out there. But again, like we want to talk positive and we want to be positive. So you got to be prepared. That's all what we're saying. You got to be prepared. You have to have something in place. And if you don't, well, unfortunately, yeah, no comments here. Now, the other project, of course, we have, which is also amazing because, again, right now everything is shut. This project is working. That is the Texas Raccoon Band oil producing field. So under the store umbrella, under the store platform, not under the gold or silver, under the store platform, we have assets. So we crowdfund money, we buy assets. One of the assets we purchase is the Texas Raccoon Band oil producing field. We have a hedge against in place in case the oil price went down, which it did, historical down 18. I think it went up down even up to $20 or something, like it's 18 years low we have, but fortunate because we have a really great board and they had put a hedge in place for $50, which is great. So this field is pumping, meaning it's making money for the people who actually own store. If you own store today, you're actually going to make money from that. If you buy store today, you're going to make money from that. So while everything else has shut down, and you see here a picture a little bit from some people which came actually to visit, and we had a few trips recently, people taking there when we still were allowed to travel and actually looking at these fields. This particular oil field has 25 plus years production still there. So it's proven, it's audited, it's bankable. Reserve, meaning it's really there. It's not possible, it's not probable, it's actually there. 25 years plus, we will have oil in there to drill. Now, the big, of course, problem solving is plastics. There's no question about it. We have big time going into plastic recycling, into raising funds so that we can build a pyrolysis polystyrene plant. In fact, we want to build 100 plants worldwide, with being either the first facility probably in Latin America rather than in the United States. But we want to build 100 plants all around the world. Why? Well, because plastic is everywhere, and plastic can be recycled and turned into valuable energy, correct? So, for example, biodiesel or other liquids where it can be put in. And so the plan is for us to build a 60-ton plant, which can, of course, convert 60 tons of plastics into biodiesel, for example. And this whole process, of course, depending on the oil prices at any given time, has a 30% enhancement over the traditional way it has been processed because of our knowledgeable team in that sector. Because you will learn a little bit later, the team has combined 250 years of experience in oil, gas, in natural resources, minerals, etc., blending, refining, mixing of crude oil. Now, the other project in the project of STORE is mineral reclamation and remediation in Peru. Now, we all know those open pit mines. We know when you take out the different minerals, it's a lot of poison which goes into the earth, which then poisons the environment, which goes into the river, into the landfills, and then of course the farmers there, most likely in Peru, Ecuador, in those places, or even in Africa, they of course have farmland there. And where does it go? It ends up in the stomach, doesn't it? So unfortunately, that's why we see a lot of illnesses around those sites. Well, what we do is with a new technology, Australian technology, we again raise money so that we can go in there, can take out which is left over, and sometimes it's 50 to 70% still left over. We take out through the process which is called tailing those minerals, and then we put them, of course, into the market, sell them into the market, which is a huge, amazing upside. I mean, look at the Ecuador project. We're already there. We're already dealing, negotiation with the of course, the government. We're already doing things on the side. 1 to 7 million ounces of gold, which, what did I say before? 1 ounce is around $1,600. And this is, of course, right now, which is, of course, the paper gold. That doesn't represent the physical gold. That's the paper gold. That's not the physical gold. Physical gold is, of course, higher. And we believe it's going to go way higher because the refineries are closed. And before the refineries were closed, they already had a hard time keeping up with demand. So basically, this is an amazing environmental project, but also great project for STORE, for the people who actually own STORE through Utopian Global. You see here the management team already down in this project. And so with our project, you know, the gold or silver, simple insurance policy, safe haven, nest egg, STORE. Well, STORE basically is a project, it's on its own, and we of course aim to launch it on an exchange. Once we launch it on an exchange, you who own STORE, myself as well, we're gonna be expectfully do a multiple on it of earnings because of the different asset it owns under its belt. So we started with a very low price when we started selling STORE for 10 cents. We went to 20 cents, we went to 40 cents, we went to 48 cents. Why? Because we added more, of course, products to it. So we first asset we purchased, it was a small, two small oil fields in Mississippi, Louisiana. Then we purchased a big one in Raccoon Bend. And then, of course, we did 2 drillings. We did from the returns of that field, we did new drillings, we fixed old wells and so on. And of course, that increased the price. And now we're raising, of course, the funds for the Polystream plant project. Of course, that will be a plant which is non-stop producing and converting that plastic into valuable biodiesel. And then, of course, all the other projects. So the aim, as you see here, is to launch at least with a €4. We have a target to €10, but at least with a €4 once we launch on an exchange. And of course, in the meantime, we're going to pay cash payouts out of the production of these assets. That is the timeline for STORE, of course, and you get a STORE certificate that you are actually an owner there, which is all legally documented by a legal firm out of Houston, Texas. The founder of the company is Bill Rowell. You see him here actually in the very refinery, which is actually holding here a gold bar. And this very refinery on the Italian border, which does 25 to 30% now of the global gold production, it's closed. and it's closed because of coronavirus. Obviously, next to it on the border is the heaviest affected part of Italy, so which is near, of course, it's going now. It's very near to Bergamo, where, of course, most people, unfortunately, right now dying. And so most of the workers, they're actually coming over, they're crossing the Italian border, they're coming into Switzerland, and they're working there. I've been there, I had the pleasure to be there some years back. Now they don't let any more in. But already before all this coronavirus, they couldn't keep up with demand, meaning they sent clients away. We don't want you any more clients. We have already a scarcity on, because we have already a shortage. And so, well, what is going to happen with all those people now wanting to diversify, because the stock market is crashing. Whole industries are closing. A huge, of course, because of all this coronavirus, and nothing is working anymore. The collapse will come. Well, where do they traditionally put the money in? In precious metals, in gold. But if there's no supply, what will it do? So when, again, let's say the refinery will work again, eventually it will. Well, who do you think they're going to serve? They're going to serve people who have long relationships, such as us, with them. They're not going to take on new refineries. Sorry, they're not going to take on new clients. They don't. So this is an amazing advantage, of course, what we have. Now you got to understand that basically, even when going back World War II, World War I, I mean, this refinery is very old. It's a long time. I mean, they produce all the Rolex, the Philippe Patek, the Cartier watches, and so on. Now, this refinery has never been closed. That is unprecedented what we have right now. It has never been closed. Refineries are closing now, and this is crazy. You got to see that, what this will be, of course, on the upside. And of course, so Bill, as you see here, he put this company in place so many years ago in order to help ordinary people make extraordinary wealth. That's the whole purpose. Ordinary people make extraordinary wealth through what? Through diversifying their currency, which is losing over time, into, of course, real money. By giving them a vehicle where they can actually, through leverage income, through the power of word, leverage, of course, attract customers and business builders, and actually make money, create cash flow, build a business from home, which of course now so much is needed because we can't leave our home. And that's why he built this platform so many years ago. And of course, he also almost 2 decades ago met Ryan Messer, where Bill, back then, from his hotels, he invested hugely with Ryan's company, oil and gas. Why did he do that? Oil and gas, resource sector, energy sector makes money. Even everything is shut down. These sectors are still making money. Myself, I invested as well. And of course, today we have Ryan, who's the CEO of Store, bringing Store as one of the products on board under the Utopian Global umbrella. And this team is pretty impressive, as you see here. I mean, you have really great people. Philip Judge, I'm always talk about him. He is, of course, the gold guy. He's the gold guru. He owns himself the gold fund, a precious metals physical gold fund. And I don't know if you know Jim Rickards. He wrote all the kinds of books, the death of the currency war, the new case of gold, the aftermath, Raven, a new book which is just coming out. He has been simulating in the Pentagon currency wars. Very brilliant man. He's on the board of his physical gold fund. So we just have people on board which are the top of the top of the top in their class. So why do they come on board of Store? Because of course, what it presents and the vision and the amazing opportunity. So with that, I'm gonna come into the leverage income part and how you can get involved, because at the end of the day, that's what you are here for. What can I do? How can I get in? How can I buy gold? How can I get store? How can I build money? How can I work from home? What do I have to do? And here, of course, we have two ways. One is a customer, or what you really wish you want to buy gold or silver because now you finally got the message, or you wish to buy this amazing project of store. And you can do so from as little as 25 euro for gold and as little as 50 euro for store. You can accumulate store. You can even have a asset accumulation plan on a monthly basis, 50 euro outside the US in store, inside the US in gold or silver, whatsoever, or even anywhere you can, of course, have a gold savings plan. I have it since ages. Yes, since over 12 years now, and I'm always accumulating more. In fact, I'm actually getting paid to save in gold or silver. I'm getting paid to save in assets. Why? Because I built a business, word of mouth, marketing the products and services, and through the marketing of the products and services, I get money, I get paid, and part of that money I actually then of course get either my gold delivery at home or my silver delivery at home, or I diversify it in Loomis in Switzerland, save in the Loomis storage. That's what I do. Or I convert that money into more store, or I just take out some currency or take out some Bitcoin. That's what we can do. And as a affiliate member, so this is the person who actually markets the products and services, we have different ways that we can actually make money. In fact, 6 different ways we can make money. In order to get started, as in everything, because you're going to own your own business. Again, if you're in the United States, you have a tax write-off. So it even doesn't cost you anything because you can claim it back with tax. From as little as 99 euro up to 3,500 euro, we have and offer the different packages for affiliates, and then we have packages from 9,000 up to 1 million. And they're really more so for the person who really wants to get hold of either a lot of gold or a lot of store. Now the smaller packages, as you see here, that's a one-time entry, and then we have a 50 euro monthly asset accumulation plan. Why? Well, because obviously we are a asset accumulation company. So that means it just makes sense that you accumulate asset. What do the wealthy people own? Remember that first slide or the second slide I had? What the business owner and the investors, well, they have assets. They have money working for them. They have people working with them and for them. Well, that's the same here when you become an affiliate. When you become an affiliate, you basically have your own business. And when you promote, market the products and services to its customers and to its affiliates, you're making money. Now, in these packages, obviously, you're going to get either store, or if you're in the United States, you get precious metals. Plus, of course, you get the whole platform as well. And of course, when you're an affiliate member, let's say you want to sell back your gold or your silver, you don't have a fee to pay. You don't have a storage fee, and that is pretty amazing. Now go to any gold dealer. If you store, it's going to cost you, and they charge you quite well. If you want to sell it back, it's going to cost you. As an affiliate member here with Utopia Not, you get this actually advantage. With the affiliate program, we have a pretty simple system, actually. Very simple. It is so simple that everybody really can do it. So you come on board, doesn't matter which package, if you're 99, 170, 390, 1,500, like it is an example. And you share it with 3 people and they buy the package you bought, well, you're making money back. That's as pretty simple as it gets. 3 people you share this with, and basically your initial money is back, and your own store or your own gold or silver, which is of course an income producing asset. So absolutely amazing. And of course, if you teach then you 3 people to do the same, again, you're going to make money. if you teach those 3 people, which you taught the three people to do the same, again, this is how your network of people grow. At the end, you will end up, you don't even know anymore how many people you are, but of course your business system will track it and you will get paid from all those people. So every time you sell a package, you basically get what we call, it's one bonus, a fast start referral commission, and they're ranging, of course, in the smaller packages from 37 euro up to 998 euro, and of course higher in the higher packages. But as I said, there's multiple ways to earn. So you can also earn direct bonus. Every time you sell precious metals, you actually get a bonus, you get paid. Then you have the different incentives for the different countries. They include, of course, from watches to smartphone to laptop to travel and so on. But then also we have the long-term residual income, and that is, we call that the uni-level commission. That is, you get rewarded from the people you introduce, and they introduce, and they introduce. So from all the people basically who are purchasing through you, direct or indirect, you make a commission. That's amazing. And that is an ingenious concept. And if you haven't watched the video recent, which our founder Bill Rowell put out, I encourage you to do so. It's on social media. Just go to the Utopian Global website or Facebook or Instagram, and you will find it there. And then we have, of course, more bonuses like a leadership bonus. So you get leadership recognition and other rewards. But basically, the concept is very, very simple. What do? We have a platform where we have precious metals, your insurance policy, where we have store, income producing asset, amazing project, wealth education, gets you educated so that you understand what money is and what currency is, so that you don't make the mistake to think that currency is the savior. No, you got to be diversified. And we have a vehicle which actually can make your cash flow now, today, this very moment, working from home when, of course, you have a ban that you cannot go out anymore. So that's what we have. It's time to get in and time for you to build wealth with passive income. This really starts today. No, not tomorrow. It starts here and right now. And so with that, I have the founder and CEO, Bill Rowell, on the call. Bill, are you there? What's news in Dubai? How is Dubai? You made a great video yesterday. I don't know if you on the call. Yeah. Hello, Bill.
Hi, Claudia. Can you hear me?
Yes, very well.
Well, welcome everyone joining you on this weekend. Dubai's fine. Dubai's very quiet. I'm getting a message that my Wi-Fi is shutting down. Can you hear me though?
Good. Yes, good.
Okay. No, everything's fine here. Like globally, the world has come to pretty much a shutdown. Precious metals, I heard you speak about that earlier on, for sure. The refinery in Switzerland is actually closed. The supply chain is shutting down. So physical supply is pretty much drying up. There's no question about that. We still have some inventories at Loomis International. But the problem is we can't deliver right now because Federal Express also has been affected by this, but we still have inventories there. And once, I think over the next few weeks, actually on the 5th of April, Switzerland is meant to open up again. Whether they do or don't, I really don't know. But one thing's for sure, we just seen the US, no doubt the European Central Bank, do a bailout process to stimulate the economy, which it certainly needs. I mean, the Dow Jones has pulled back like 35%, recovered some, then pulled back. So we're going to have trillions of dollars being printed moving forward, which of course long term means it's going to have more inflation in that respect. So long term, there's no question about it. You spoke about Jim Rickards, who is also sits on the chair, is the chairman for the Physical Gold Fund. Long term, metals are a safe haven, and so it's great to diversify into that. But I know yourself, certainly myself, has been a long term buyer of that anyway over many years, because we know that these crises were going to come, and it's not over yet, as we well know. On the Raccoon Bend side, you actually heard you say that it's working 24/7. Ryan spoke on Thursday night's call that because of the industry that it's in. It's an essential service, an essential industry. That's all happening. They've still got their crews on the ground, making sure the maintenance, making sure that everything's working there. We have our hedging in place until the end of July, which is fantastic. So we're still getting good oil prices, even though the oil prices are flat at the moment. So in that sense, we have a good insurance policy and good cash flows being generated for us. You also mentioned the video that I did. Yes, I was thinking when I was riding my bike. I'm here in Dubai and I can get out during the day, but I'd like to do a little bit of a bike riding just for fitness and good for the mind. And I was thinking about what brought me into this industry, what attracted me into the network marketing and leveraged income industry. And it was really a crisis. It was a crisis from 1991. I was in my second hotel. And I actually explained it in the video. Interest rates were over 21%. I was burdened with debt. I was on the edge of going out the back door. And the person introduced me to this industry. Now, I ended up getting the hotel going and ended up buying the freehold, turned out to be very successful. But I can assure you right now, being involved with the and building up the leveraged income on the side, a passive income, a secondary income, was a game changer for me. In fact, I was earning, as you know, because you work for that particular company in Germany, I was earning a six-figure income passively while I was living in Australia. And this is what people really have here. You have access to diversify your wealth through gold, silver, and of course, real assets through store. Most importantly, on the short term, you can earn short-term revenues. And this is really what can help people. We even know, if we learn any lessons from the 2008 crisis, that in 2008, as little as $500 per month extra income in the US would have prevented more than half the housing foreclosures. So here we have something that costs less than a couple of dollars a day. You're getting ownership of real assets. You have a very powerful vehicle here. You have a very powerful platform here where you get ownership of assets, and you can build strong short-term revenues through our referral leveraged income plan. And this is what you just went through, Claudia. Don't underestimate the power of this particular program, because if people really grasp what you have here, and you start building a network, you don't need a lot of people. As Claudia mentioned, introduce 3 people on the affiliate packages, the lower ones, you've got your money back. You have zero risk by introducing 3 people. Build an organization of 8 people, anywhere in your first 2 levels. Your asset accumulation program, which is on a monthly basis, which is only 50 euros, is costing you nothing. It means you're getting your ownership of your assets for nothing. And you're also owning an international global business. It doesn't matter where you are. You can be in China. I know someone in New York, if they like our products and services and buy them, you are going to get paid. This is the power of these businesses. Leveraged income, I think it was Robert Kiyosaki said, if you don't learn how to leverage your income, you'll work your entire life and pretty much retire broke. And it's very, very, very true. And it's during these times like now, where we have a real crisis on our hands, where you need to open your mind up. You need to look at alternative ways to generate sources of income. And then even on the long term, because of inflationary effects of our currencies, because of this money printing that's going to be explosive over the coming weeks and months, possibly years, your paper currency is going to buy significantly less today than what it's going to do 3, 4, 5 years' time. We've already lost a lot of purchasing power. But that's not going to stop. It's actually going to increase. So this is a vehicle here that can help each and every one of you. You can do it relatively low risk, very low risk, and at a very low cost. But you just need to understand what we have here, and you need to be able to learn how to share it. And this is the great trainings that Claudia has been doing for many, many years, actually.
Yeah, absolutely right, Bill. And I just listened to, of course, the great webcast of Jim Rickards, which he did for, of course, your friend and, of course, our business partner, Philip Judge, Physical Gold Fund. And Jim Rickards, of course, gosh, the books he has written and the knowledge he has. He spoke about, of course, there's a lot of people, of course, they made a great deal with the stock market because we had probably the longest stock market rally seen the last, it's just so long, stock market rally. But of course, this is going to change. And well, he believes very much that we are going to be in a worst case scenario recession than, of course, seen in the 1930s. And you can ask any of the advisors, if the guys, if it is Max Kaiser, if it is Jimmy Rogers, if it is Doom and Gloom, Mark Faber, and all those guys. We always have spoken about David Morgan. Remember, I think we had him some years on the call. Chris Martenson, who is now actually a Corona advisor. He had just a recent show with Robert Kiyosaki. We had him long time speaking on our calls, Chris Martenson. Everybody says the same. We basically are heading towards this probably even worst case scenario since the 1930s. But when you think of then from, of course, when the crisis in the 30s was to get to the peak of the market in the stock market, it took something like 25 or even 30 years to go back to this peak. So what they all believe, enormously believe, is, well, of course, as longer we are in this right now, and nobody knows when this is going to end, you know, of course, if this is not just bad, it's actually going to be worse. It's going to take us probably, and it could be even in 20, 25 years to get out of it, to get to the heights again of the stock market. Now, this is a long, long time, very long time. So if you think, and most people think still, they think, oh, you know, everything will be relaxed again. Yeah, it's, at the moment, it's not good, but it's going to think differently. You gotta find a way how to create income, cash flow now, because it's again, like, of course, I'm a positive person and you are a positive person. We want to paint things positive. Unfortunately, when you understand economy and economics, of course, it's not a pretty picture out there. Most people don't understand. So we need cash flow. We need cash flow now. That is my message for you guys, and I hope that you grasp this from today's call. Now we have a lot of things going on in Utopian Global because we have to do social distancing. We have, of course, now everybody basically stepped up and doing online, more online than offline. Certainly we can't do any more offline meetings. So every morning, 7 days a week, we have a call, 9 a.m. UK, where different leaders present the opportunity and do a training afterwards. That's 9 a.m. UK, that's 10 o'clock Germany, that is, I think it's 7 o'clock Brisbane, Australia, and that's 10 o'clock Auckland, New Zealand. Every day we have that. How do you find out about it? Well, go to our Utopian Global Facebook page. Pretty simple. Everybody's anywhere on Facebook or Instagram. You will find out there. We have, of course, those webinars we do on Tuesdays, when we do on Saturdays. We have webinars, Zooms in Spanish, in Portuguese, every single day going on. That's always 6 o'clock Argentina, which is 3 o'clock Mexico. We have everyday Spanish, and then we have 5 o'clock Brazil, which is 5 o'clock Argentina, which is 2 o'clock Mexico. Every day calls in Portuguese going on. So we have lots of things going on, and then of course the individual leaders, they do their own Zoom hostings and so on. You got to follow us on Facebook, Utopian Global. You got to follow us on Instagram, Utopian Global. You got to follow us on LinkedIn, on Twitter. You got to follow us on social media, on Telegram. So in order to stay connected, and you know, very simple, plug into the system, bring people you want to share this to our calls, to our presentation. Let us do the work for you. Let us do the work for you. That's how we all grow. So we have all this in place. Make use of it, and hopefully you make a right decision, because again, the time to get in is now. And so, Bill, thank you so much always for coming on board from a wonderful, colorful, hot Dubai. I had a beautiful day here in Germany right now. It's clear sky, sunshine, but tomorrow they say snow is coming again. So we get winter back. at least for a short time. But I wish all the listeners, thank you so much, make the right decision, and we see you on the next call on Tuesday.
Thank you, Claudia. Thanks, everyone. There's no questions, Claudia?
No, there's no questions. Thank you.